morning. I'm here. I was running again. The little girl is totally changing all of her sleeping habits. She was getting me up at 3. This morning she woke up about 4:15 barking, so I took her out. I don't think she had to go out because when I went in and went to the bathroom, she settled right down. So I don't know if she heard something or what, but I took her out. So then she slept till 1:15, listen to me, 7:15. It was like, oh my gosh. So we got up. So I'm a little behind, but I got it all straight. Hey, Janice. Now let me see if I'm up on either of my, and of course, Ezzy is going to cry. She needs to just get up here. All right, I think I'm live now on my page. I got my iPad up. Yes, there I am. So give me a minute to get set up and we'll get started. Okay. There we go. I hope you guys are enjoying your weekend. It's a rainy weekend for us, so a perfect weekend to do some crafting. I have all kinds of things I want to get done, so we'll see. Come on up, girl. She's crazy. So anyway, hey Peggy, hey Sharon. Woohoo, the gang's all here. So people are popping in, good. When you pop in, say hello. We're going to get started in a few minutes. I wasn't certain what to do, and then it occurred to me, oh, now the little one's going to bark. Ezzy, come on up. Come on. She was so good with stairs, and I took her to the groomers about a month ago, and they cut her back feet. Hey, Barb. They trimmed her back feet, and she does not like the steps since then. I don't know if they did something and hurt them. She's getting better. She is up here finally. So I don't know. I'm trying a new groomer because the lady I normally see wasn't there, so the guy did it. And I wasn't real thrilled. So I won't be going back to him. And the lady is going out on maternity leave. So I'm trying a new groomer in a couple of weeks. We'll see how it goes. Cross your fingers for me. Not many people know how to groom papillons. So that's the key. All right. So I thought I would do a cluster for you and show you how to make a fun cluster. This one that I'm going to do, I'm going to make a card out of it, but I'm going to show you how you can use that cluster on your card in different positions and do different things. And I forgot to grab one thing, so when I go to use it, I will grab it. I just wanted to, to show you that just because it's a focal image doesn't mean it has to be in the middle. So we're going to do that and play with some things. I pulled a bunch of different things that I had from different companies, so I'm also mixing and matching. I love to mix and match my stuff. So let me get ready, turn this down, and we'll get started. Now, if you get dizzy, close your eyes. All right, I'm going to do this. Turn this, and hopefully I'm not too far away. All right. Oh, I am. Give me a minute. I'm still playing with it. All right. Well, I'd like to get a little closer. So let me pull this one down some. Here's that. All right, I think I got it. Open your eyes. I have to wait till it settles down some. Because I am closer than... Look at all the stuff on the side. Yeah, I think that'll work. I'll just tilt it back just slightly. All right. So I have several classes going on, and I decided I'm just going to take and do one. They're made up of like 4 or 5 subclasses in there. I'm going to take one class a week and do it. But this is the first one that I did, and this is actually a shaker card, which was fun to do. I think she did it the hard way. She used chipboard to make her frame, and I would much rather use foam tape. It was really hard cutting out the center from the chipboard. So I'm not going to do a shaker card today, but I am going to do a layered, Ezzy, no, cluster to show you how to do it, because I just think it, and it will be popped up, but it won't be shaker. It was fun to do, but like I said, chipboard, no. Okay, all right, I've got to go take care of something. Get. I don't know if that's going to work or not. We'll see. Sorry about that. She's chewing on a box. She's always chewed on boxes. I don't know why. I have this Arden Page Starters paper pack. It's for one of the classes that I signed up to do. And it comes in blues. There's some greens. And it's different patterns. I hope you can see this. And then there's a brown, it looks like. And then there's another green. There's a yellow, and I'm using the yellow today. I pulled out the yellow. And then a pinky color, coral color, and then blue. The blue is gorgeous, but I saved the blue for the class. And then with it, this is the page I'm using. And I'm hoping to use this side as a background. If I go that way, I've got a couple of ideas. And use this side to cut out the base, the back side of the cluster. And then I have this that I pulled out that I can use also. So this matches it because the page starters are solid colors. And so lots of ideas to do with it, but she used it for one of the classes I signed up for, so I've saved that. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make our cluster, and I'm going to go through it a little bit at a time. So the first thing I need to do is I need to decide about, and I think I'm going to have to use this piece up here. I was going with this one, but I need my stuff on the side, and I'm going to make this the background. It'll just barely get in there, but I can make my frame smaller. All right. Maybe I want that as my background. But I need some space in it. I think I'm going to use the bottom down here as my background. Yeah, that'll work. So this one is actually 4 by 3. I'm going to make mine a little bit smaller. So if this is my background, I need to cut this down. So, yeah, I've got to do some adjusting. 3 would have cut off that and the top of that, and I don't want to do that. So I shoved it down some, so I'll cut off some from the bottom. That won't be seen anyway. I'm going to go for 2 3/4. And let's see. Let's do 3 1/2. 2 3/4 by 3.5. So there's my background, and I pulled out a stamp to go with it. It may be too big. I may have to swap it out. We'll see. And then I need a piece to go on top. And I think I want this piece on the top because I'm going to put my cluster over here. So let me cut this. This was, what did I say? This is 3.5 by 2 3/4. So let me cut this one. And again, I've got to do some cutting to get that in there. 3.5, 2 3/4. Okay. All right. I need to cut out the center, and I may not, I can tell you right now that I'm looking for my trimmer. Where did I put the trimmer? Where's my trimmer? Oh, here it is. It's underneath. The stamp I pulled out is going to be too big. All right, this is the top, this is the bottom, so I'm going to put that there. I haven't used this yet. I don't know if I'll use it as a background or not. All right, so this is 3.5. This was like a 1/2 inch all the way around. Let's see, if I set this at a 1/2 inch and I go, oh, wait a minute, I gotta flip this. I'm gonna do this upside down. I have grooves in my track and it doesn't cut right. So if I do I do it at a 1/2 inch. I'm using my guide. All right, we'll find out. Oops, that's not the cutter. Let me get it lined up again. You need a trimmer. People, I don't know how people do it. They say they use a craft knife. Not me. All right. So that's not, All right. Let me look at it this way. There's a 1/2 inch. 1, 2. I'm gonna go there. There's a 1/2 inch. All right, got that. I may have to do this sideways to see what I'm doing. There's my 1/2 inch. Put this at a 1/2 inch, and I'm gonna go down a 1/2 inch. And then this way, if I have to trim the corners, it's nothing to trim the corners. There, one more line. I hope I'm in frame, yes. I did all this and then it not be in frame, that would be bad. There. All right, so I did cut away a lot of the flower, but I have, all right, now see, I didn't get my corners all the way. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my scissors. Oh, now she's over here chewing on my wood. Hey, stop. And I'm just gonna go in and nip the corners and they fall out. Sometimes it's just I don't want to pull it because it's just off a little bit. All right. And then I have my frame. There we go. All right. So I have my frame to go on top, like so. Save that. Never know what you can use it for. And see, I had pulled out this butterfly, but this butterfly is way too big. It's from the Arden Creative Studios stamp set. And this stamp set, or this company, is the same company who did the paper. All right, let me see. That one's better. I'm going to use the smaller one, so give me a minute. I got to do some switching. I decided just in starting to change the size of the cluster frame. So if I hadn't changed it, it would have been okay. All right, we got that out of the way. And then I'm pulling in my Altenew. I'm thinking this green gold. This is a funny color. I tried several yellows with it, but I'm thinking this green gold will work. So, all right, I'm going to ink up my stamp. I've never used this color, so we'll find out. All right, and I'm gonna put it right about like that. So it adds just a little bit of texture, and that's not bad color-wise with it. At least I know what I can use in the future. All right, now this piece is gonna go on top. It could have come down some. That's all right, live and learn, right? And I'm gonna use some strips, which I thought I had over here, but I don't, so I'll use some big ones. I thought I had strips over here. All right, these are a nice size, so I'll put these in the corner. And that way it's popped up. Now, you know, to make a shaker frame, all you have to do is pop this up, put it on there. It has to have a piece of acetate behind there, which you'd put on first, but I decided not to do that. I'm gonna add some extra pieces. I gotta be careful not to get too close to the edge. Oops. And this will work. It'll be enough. There. All right. Let me take my backs off. Well, you have to be careful because you don't want to rip your frame. And it's easy to do when you're popping these things off. So I try and hold it. The key is going to be getting this thing on there straight, because these things are sticky. Move this out of the way. All right, now this goes on like so. Ooh, got it. I have to tell you, this is not my favorite color, but I decided to go outside my comfort zone. So there's what I have so far. Now we need some pieces to go with it. And I have this stamp set, and I've left it this way because this is from Penny Black. It's called Company of Flowers. I left it because my little circle that goes there and the big circle that goes in the other one are both in here, and I don't want to lose them. So when I get ready, I will pull them out to stick them on. That's the back side. And I'm thinking that this is going to go over here. I'm not going to leave it white. I'm going to sponge it to add some color. And then from scrapbook.com, I have these Delicate Leaves dies, and I've cut out 2 dies from this brown, it's Pebbled Path. I thought it matched that, so I went with that. I just didn't pop them out because it's just easier to leave them in there. That's a great leaf set. I love it. It was one of the ones that the lady who taught the class uses all the time. And I thought, I didn't have a good leaf set. And I like it because it's got such a variety. All right, so I have these two. Now these will get trimmed down. I just didn't do it yet. Those are going to go on there, and this is going to go on there. That's the back side again. It keeps flipping on me. All right, now I've got to find, I forgot to grab my mat. Let me get it. Sorry about that. All right, so let me move that up. I'm going to move this up here so it's not in the way either. All right, and I'm going to use that same green gold, I think, to kind of tie it all together. And I pulled in 2 different blending brushes. I have a little tiny one, and I have, you know what? Let's try some blending. Let's use Citronella, and we'll do the whole flower that color. And these are Altenews blending brushes. I should be using my sticky mat because these are delicate. I'll hold it with my finger. It just means I get inky fingers. And I'm going to go down this some, the stem, because the stem is going to need to, some of the stem is going to need to be on there. All right. All right, now I'm going to take, I pulled in a little one, but I think I'm going to try it with the big one. I'm going to use this to do the tips and the center. So I'm just going to go in and get the tips. I think doing the tips and the center, and then I'm going to have to let it dry some. One more. Okay. There we go. See how that makes it come to life? All right, and I'm going to grab a baby wipe to wipe that off so I don't get ink on anything else. Okay, get my hands, move that off, and then we can start to layer our cluster. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't do the center of my flower. Shoot, hold on. Let me pull in. I think I'm going to try the little one. Now I'm going for the big one. It's going to be hard to do that little tiny one there. That's the other one. So where's this? And I'm going to take my pokey tool to hold it down while I color it. I'm hoping I have enough on here to color it. Let's see. Yeah. It's light, but that's okay. It'll work. All right, now let me wipe that off again and get this out of the way. And then I'm going to pull in. Let me pull this back. I've got to let this dry some, because if I don't, it's not going, nothing's going to stick. All right, let's decide on this. I think I want this in the background because I'm going to use the whole piece of that. So I'm going to take my glue and I'm going to add it. There we go. I always get these goobers that I like to get off because then it'll close up good. So I'm gonna, and of course my glue's gotta come down some, so. All right, maybe it needs to be cleaned out a little. Let's see. Once I get it coming, I lay it on its side till I'm finished using it. There we go. I'm not going to do that top one. And I still forgot to look for my scissors. I have a pair of scissors either downstairs or upstairs. I have one downstairs, but I don't know if they're both downstairs. There. All right, so I have that. I'm not worried about that. Now this piece, I think I'm going to come down with it and I'm going to cut it off. So because I'm not throwing those away, I may use those. Now I don't want to go in. I want to come down some. It's still too long. There we go. I don't know how much of this is going to show when I put the flower on. We'll find out. Okay. All right, and I'm going to put a block on top to help hold it in place. Hopefully by now my ink is dry. And I'm going to take my center off. I'm going to add some glue. I'm right-handed, sorry, I got to switch. Add some glue. Put that there. Good. All right. And I do have a ticket punch here. Ooh. I'm going to punch. I think I'm going to punch the ticket out of here. See, there's always ways to use your extra pieces. All right, because there's a ticket under there. There's another shape under there also. I don't know what I used for that. I don't know. Don't know. All right. See? But if I put my ticket there, that'll help hide those bottoms. So let me get some glue on this one. All right. And I just put it on the 3 pieces. Let me put that there only because I want it to grab it, and I'm gonna trim this off. I don't know if I'll use those, probably not. And I didn't grab a sentiment because I don't normally use a sentiment, as you know. All right, I'm gonna put this on here, like so. In fact, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna change the size. I do this all the time. So I'm gonna go this way. I reinsert, and it's tricky sometimes, my die or my punch out back into, I got to do this right-handed, back into my punch. Here we go. Here we go. You just got to get it in there right. And then I got to get a hold of it and move it over and get my sides straight. All right. You look at your sides straight, make sure your top is lined up straight. Ooh, it moved just slightly. And punch it. There. And see, now I have a smaller shape, and that's perfect. Perfect size. Let me get my small little pieces here. All right, there. Get those out of the way. All right. So there's my tag. And there we go. Isn't that a cute little cluster? It turned out better than I thought it would, I'll tell you. I was not real thrilled with that color. All right, let's talk about the card now. Because you've got this cute little cluster. What can you do with it? And I'm going to take and put my pen back in here, because if I don't, it will, and that'll be the perfect layer for inside the card. I am, unfortunately, I've used up all of my card bases that I had scored and everything. Let's see, what size is this? This is the right size. Any of these? No. So I've got to make some more. I'm on the hunt for some white cardstock. What white cardstock do you guys use? The one that I always use from Amazon has gone up in price, like $9. So, and I ordered it before and they canceled the order, but charged my account. So I had to, and then I messed this up. So then I had to contact the company and say, what's going on here? You charged me for this, but you didn't send it. Okay, now, there's a couple of ways to go. All right, there's my card base. And I'm going to cut another piece of about 5 1/4 of white to put on here. All right, I don't have cardstock that matched it, but that's why I pulled out that other, this piece. I might put this behind it, which I think I will, because then it'll show up. We'll see. I'm playing as we go. So we'll just kind of look at it and see. This can go down in the corner, kind of, and you can put some stripes behind it and put a sentiment here. You can put it there. Put your stripes across. You can stamp the background. I can put it there, put my stripes there. I kind of like that. I'm going to get my Love for Lizzie strips. And I think the Love for Lizzie will go across the top. I think I'm going to do that. I could stamp that butterfly down there. I could stamp the butterfly here to offset that and put a sentiment here. Let's see. This one doesn't have any sentiments in it. So I've got to go looking for a sentiment. All right. So let me cut these down again. Okay. I love because it's actually 6 by 8. So you can get 2 card fronts out of it. Do I want the darker? I think I want the darker one as the background. It's still not scored straight. And let me cut my white down because that was the same size. 49 in Market also does that. They do it 6 by 8. That's becoming a very popular size. Oh, I'll have to check out their white. I don't have any trouble with the colors, Peggy. It's the white. And I'm picky. I like it smooth. Not all of them you can get are smooth. The 6 by 8 is a popular size for scrapbooks lately. All right. Now, I'm going to go up here, kind of off just a little bit. But I'm going to put on, I think I'm going to use, I've got some gold in here. And I've got 2 different kinds. I've got this brushed gold. I think I like this better. It's not as bright and shiny. A little bit more suited to this card. All right, so this is Love from Lizzie's peel-offs. And they come in different colors. So I'm gonna use my grid here. And hope, because I'm going at an angle. So I'm gonna go here and cut it off. Here and cut it off. And this isn't long enough for that. I'm going behind the thing. You don't have to. You could easily have used pieces on each end. But this is such a small I'm trying to get this one because it's the same size as that area that I'm not going to worry about it. All right. There. And then this, you put back on here, and you can use that on another card. All right, move that out of the way. And then I'm going to pick this up, and I'm going to fold these to the back. This is a Mohawk white that I use. And like I said, I love it, but it's gone up. See, I like this even more than the Stampin' Up, Peggy. This one is a brighter white than the Stampin' Up one was. And years ago, the Stampin' Up one wasn't smooth. I mean smooth, smooth. Like I said, I'm really picky. I'm going to go over those strips so that they stay stuck down. So, I will have to check it out, Peggy. I'll have to see if I can buy a small package. Okay, there we go. And see what it's like. So I switched to this paper years ago. I don't know who told me about it or where I saw it, but I loved it. All right, now this is kind of high, so I am not going to put it on dimensionals. I'm going to put it on flat. And I'm going to go. So it's kind of nice to see that those gold pieces sticking out. Just gives it some interest. All right, now here's my stamp. And this is the gold that I used. Elizabeth Arden's stuff, you know what? I think I'm going to off-stamp this so it's not as bright. Okay. There. I must not have gotten the center real good. I'm not always good with that. And then if I stamp the sentiment in the pebbled path, that pulls that in. So let me find a sentiment. And does it need some gems? Let me know while I get my ink. Pebbled path is up here. All right. I'll bring that one back over. They have the sentiment on top because there's stuff there. I'm just going to put a sentiment there. Let's see what's in my special moments. Oh, I think I'm going to use Just a Little High from Me. Of course, I got to find it right here. Oh, I've never run into that, Peggy. That's interesting. I like the smooth because of the way it stamps. It just feels so nice. My stamp is kind of dirty, so it may not stick. So I huffed on the back of it. So that's a good way to get your stamp to stick. All right, now. There we go. Yes. And I think it needs some gems. Let's see what I have. I brought my gems upstairs. I do have some pebbled path, I believe, in my stash here. These are my brown. Is there a pebbled path in here? This is supposedly pebbled path. No, that's not pebbled path. This is crumb cake. These are my brown ones. That one won't work. What about this? What is this? That's not pebbled path either. I thought I had pebbled path. Maybe I didn't get the pebbled path. Oh, I think I did, and I think it's these stone-looking ones. Hang on. I love this mat, but I cannot pick these things up. Of course, I had my nails all cut off, too. All right, let's see. That's more brown. Maybe I put it in with the gray. Let me look at the gray and see if that's where I stuck them. So I find I take my pokey tool and pick them up that way. All right, here's the gray. Ooh, I think I did. I think I put them in with the gray, thinking they were gray. This looks like it might be it. Yep, there it is. Because that's gray. Well, that's good to know. I stuck the pebbled path in with the... All right, let's see. I have to bend this. These don't come off real well. It's a thicker plastic. And then I'll save that big one. There we go. See, it doesn't come off. You have to kind of bend the plastic and pick it up. There it is. Good to know that I have some pebbled path left, and it's in with my gray. So this was my inspiration. This is the final card. I've got to work on that. It might have been me. I didn't maybe not press it down far enough. I don't want to restamp it because I'm afraid, no, there's no ink there. So I missed ink, but that's okay. Elizabeth, I keep saying Elizabeth Arden because of the cosmetics, but it's Arden Creative Studios. They do a lot of field study type things. And I really like how this card turned out. I didn't think I would. When I first started with it, it was like, oh, I don't like this color, I don't like this color, but I think it turned out pretty good. What do you think? So my inspiration and an idea. It's like, wow. Not where I thought I would have ended up. So, a fun idea. And you can make this smaller. I just didn't go down. I thought that this would be small enough for that. That one was big. But that was the size from the class. And I think it was for a journal that we were doing. I've got several, like I said, several classes going. And I'm just kind of, I want to get them done. So she had a new one come out. I did not sign up for it because I've got, how many of hers? I have 3 of hers I still have to finish. So I want to get them done. And there's the idea. I think it was a good one. And a fun way to make a cluster. Now you can use your cluster in your, thanks Peggy. You can use your cluster in your journals. You can use it on scrapbook pages. You can do lots of things with it. And I really like how this turned out. I shocked myself. Sometimes that happens. All right, I'm going to get ready and turn this around. So if you get dizzy, close your eyes because it's going to take me a few minutes to get this thing adjusted because I've got to flip it up. And my phone is screaming at me. Do not rotate your phone. Okay, I've got it now. Whew. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's idea. I had a lot of fun making the card and showing you the ideas and having some fun. I will be back next Saturday with another idea for you. And I think I'm going to show you how to take one stamp set. I watched a lady this morning. She did this. She used dies, and I think I'm going to try to use a stamp set if I've got the right thing, and I think I do, and made cards for different seasons. So I want to show you, thanks Janice, I want to show you how you can take what you have and carry it through the seasons. So you can make a card for summer, a card for fall, a card for winter, and a card for the spring. So be on the lookout for that one. I may have to go downstairs and put in my my announcement so I don't forget. All right, guys, have a great weekend. If it's nasty weather where you are, take some time, play, have some fun. It's good for the soul, the brain, everything. Have a great weekend. Bye.